let's talk about sanitized systems and the issue that I'm experiencing with them and kind of how I'm going to move forward. So, I know sanitized systems work well, and I've been a huge proponent of this. I've made previous videos and I've recommended using them. Um, but I'm finding some issues with this, some limitations. Um, in general, or here's the main point, is that sanitized systems work well if you can maintain the sanitized level at all times. At any time, if you drop below a sanitized environment, so let's talk about millivolts. So millivolts is the measurement used by an ORT meter to determine is it sanitized or is there an issue. So sanitized is somewhere between 400 plus. Drinking water is anywhere from 500 to 700. Just to put it in perspective. So it's not strongly sanitized, but when you have nutrient solution that drops below, essentially it's a void. And you can immediately, it's very easy to pick up contamination when that drops to say, 250 millivolts for a day. And so that's what I've been experiencing. Sometimes I have to go and I just can't be here every single day to check. And frankly, I'm just getting annoyed that I have to go in and do so much maintenance. I've been growing for years and years in deep water culture, single bucket deep water culture, and I've always enjoyed how easy it was and the lack of maintenance that was required for it. And here I find myself having root issues again because I was away for 3 days, or maybe it was, I don't know how many days it was, but that sanitization level dropped and I'm getting root issues. So let me show you, right? The plants are happy and healthy up top, and the roots coming out of the hydro plugs are fine, but the lower roots, you can see, as soon as they get soft, right? As soon as they start to get soft and limp, they're basically done. So it's not enough to just use something like Hygrozyme to protect against this, because the whole point of the sanitized system is to protect against contamination. And that only works if it maintains a sanitized level at all times. So something like a recirculating system. I mean, it would work well to run a sanitized system. You would have an auto doser and you would maintain it at 400 to 600 millivolts or something like that, and it would never drop and you'd never have an issue. I mean, it just like you don't have slime coming out of your tap water because it's sanitized. But for my grow style, this just isn't working. So I'm going back to how I used to grow. I grew for, probably 5 years, 6 years, and I only had maybe 3 issues with roots. Okay, and they were very easy to identify once I knew. Once I washed my buckets too quickly, so I rushed through it, so I had some contamination issues. The second time, I didn't sanitize my air stones well enough. I had contamination issues. And then the third time, it was a cistern that needed to be cleaned, and I was contaminating with some dirty water. Outside of that, grow after grow, harvest after harvest, great results every time. Nice big white root masses coming out of hydro buckets. And so that was accomplished essentially by using what I used to do was Hygrozyme for an enzyme. I use my regular nutrient palette, and then using microbes and Chitosan. Those are the two things that I wanted to use. So essentially, when you fill your fluid with an enzyme and you fill your fluid with microbes, there's no room, right? There's no room for contamination unless you introduce it. I mean, if you really introduce it, then that's an issue. But under normal conditions where you're not directly injecting problems into your nutrient solution, man, I mean, it worked so well for so many years, and I really haven't only been having these issues since I started playing with a sanitizer. So I'm going back. I'm going to be using Hygrozymes products. They have a Chitosan product called High Shield. Amazing for deep water culture foliar spray. I find it's using it as a nutrient additive. You go through it like crazy, but as a foliar, it's super effective, and it lasts forever. Second thing, Hygroben. So this is their beneficials product. I'm super excited to get it into the solution, inoculate the everything, and that's basically what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to give up on the sanitization, and I'm going to be using just going back to how I've had success in the past. So these plants are healthy, right? You can see the roots where the root issues are. I've done this many times. You can prune your roots, easy peasy. You don't have to worry about it. But essentially, the general rule, this is similar to, trimming anything, any plant, keep it under 30%. Dead is dead, so stuff can always come off. But when you're doing root pruning or you're doing anything with your plants or trees or anything, I mean, the rule is kind of like 30%, otherwise you can kind of shock the plant. But for this stuff here, really simple. I'm just going to, anything that looks brown and not desirable, I'm just going to snip it. Okay? I mean, that's it, right? I'm just going to snip it. If I was to, side note, plants love this. I mean, if you want to create root mass that really comes out laterally, and you want to grow big roots, 100% trim your roots through veg. Trim them once a week and just take off any long stragglers, and you'll encourage that lateral growth, kind of like we're seeing, right here. But anyway, that's it. I'm just going to clean these roots up a little bit. I'll monitor them week by week to make sure that, there isn't any kind of issue, and I'll just trim any issue that is occurring. But we're going to be back in business here in no time. So, thanks for watching, and hit me up with any comments that you might have. But yeah, let's get these habanero pepper plants back on track, and say goodbye to running a sanitized system in single bucket deep water culture. Thanks for watching.